Hello everyone, this is Shilpa Sharma, lecturer, Management Department, Simaj Group of Institutions, Patna. Here today in this video, I am going to discuss about the challenges that were present in front of the HR managers of various companies post-pandemic. Now, these challenges will not be just steered towards when pandemic was, but since pandemic had a cause on the business in such a way that even now it continues to have its impact. So we'll discuss even in context of post pandemic changes which were brought about and as a challenge that was posed in front of the HR managers of various organizations. Let us discuss these challenges. The first and foremost thing before discussing this video is that we all know that businesses work in an extremely dynamic environment. Now, this dynamism comes from the change of environment which is not just internal but external also. A recent change in the form of pandemic which was very hard hitting and which continues to have negative impact on some industries even till now. Whatever it was completely beyond the control of any organization. But since every problem comes with its own share of opportunities, so did pandemic. Let us first discuss the various challenges that were brought all of a sudden in front of the human resource managers of an organization. The first change that was brought about after pandemic or upon the onset of pandemic was a total change in the HRP process. HRP is Human Resource Planning. We knew that the planning is done in terms of people joining, leaving, resignation, termination, their death, etc. But the sudden and large number of deaths that the organizations had, the sudden but large number of people leaving the organizations because of threat of COVID was something which was never seen or expected before. And also organizations were bound to do the number of job cuts. Now these job cuts, what do they mean to an HR manager? It means that with fewer number of employees, now you have to carry out the entire work. So there had to be a total rescheduling of working hours on them. Various other management policies, exclusives in the context of HR, like planning, I just discussed, staffing, which is the entire HR thing, direction, control, everything changed. How? The HRs had to rethink and reinvent ways of keeping people motivated online. Now, there was not just change in terms of the physical layout that people were suddenly put from physical layout of the office to physical structure of the office to a work from home. Rather, it became a huge challenge for the organizations to keep those employees motivated in online mode. Now, since the skills were also redefined, so either to hire more trained people or to train those people to work for an online mode in the way of work from home became a real challenge. Motivating people online, keeping their morale high was a big challenge. Now, these people, they were finding even more tough time because this time it was not just about them moving from physical office to the online mode. Rather, everything outside was shut. So those responsibilities which was not shared came into existence. Like the crèche was closed, the schools were closed, there were no maids available. So they had a very extreme kind of juggling between their work and their life, which was never seen before. To this, the HRs had to be more empathetic than they ever were because they had to understand that the employees were psychologically very stressed. Not just about the working thing, but since there were job cuts, since there were salary cuts, since people were completely unsure about their health, their peers dying, which was having a detrimental impact on their mind. So all this made HR more empathetic than before, and the HRs had a really tough time motivating and caring about the well-being of the employees. Now, if we talk about the work culture, you all know that we all choose an organization over other, and one big reason for this is also organization culture. We kind of get aligned to one culture, to the culture of one organization more than others, and this is one factor why we choose one over other. So when the people have already chosen an organization, it was completely an HR onus to keep them feel that even if we have shifted from the physical structure to an online mode, the culture of the organization still remains the same. The beliefs, the assumptions, the behavior, the way company treats you, your well-being, you being an asset to the organization, all these things still remain the same. This is easier said than done, but HRs had a really tough time making people believe that they are aligning, they have kept aligned to the same culture even after the pandemic. The other processes which earlier required a face to face interaction in terms of maybe performance appraisal, maybe leave management, payroll processing, and various other things now had to be done online. So a system had to be developed, a procedure had to be established, it was to be checked, and the accuracy had to be maintained. These things were not easy. Apart from this, the human resource department also witnessed something in the something before pandemic, during pandemic, and even now the challenge has still continued even after the pandemic, because then during pandemic the employees were shifted to a complete online mode, but after the pandemic subsided they were being called to the office, but there were a lot of people who had adjusted completely to the online mode, and many of them even refused to come back to office. They were even ready to resign but not to come. So implementation and convincing the employees regarding the hybrid model is also a challenge right now, even post pandemic. So the organizations and especially HR department of an organization had a lot of challenges during and after pandemic, which was never seen before. But as everyone says that every problem comes with its own share of rewards and challenges, which is threats and opportunities. So in this video we discussed about the challenges. Maybe in some other video I'll discuss about the rewards also of being an HR manager post pandemic era. Thank you so much for now.